In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends podcast.
Damn, Mikey. I'm going to take you to the bathroom and turn you into Moaning Myrtle.
You know what I did, man? You know what I did? I shaved my pubes, but I left my Jew curls, because I'm in unison with Israel.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's because the Jews are awesome.
Yeah, right? I'm telling you.
Wow. I shaved my butthole to free Palestine.
There you go. Oh, shit. Sponsors, Justin, fucking do it. Guys, it wouldn't be the Freedom Friends if we didn't talk about our number 1 sponsor, Warfighter Tobacco. Obviously, you guys have seen us all smoke them. We're here to talk about a quality product that everybody can enjoy. The great equalizer, as we've called it, the Warfighter Tobacco Stick. And it's not just cigars. They've got humidors, travel humidors, cutters, lighters, everything you need to get started on that journey. So check out warfightertobacco.com and use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet, sweet 15%. If you want to know my personal favorite, I'm a 762 Field guy. I like that Sumatra, real nice and even keeled cigar. Great for us beginner smokers, right? And I'm told that these taste even better when you're listening to the Freedom Friends podcast. Now, back to the show. This episode is brought to you by Grill Your Ass Off. It's no secret. We're all middle-aged dudes who love barbecue. Grill Your Ass Off is our main go-to for our spices. That's what we use, man. Whether you're doing burgers on the grill, steaks, or my personal favorite, a little bit of pork belly burn ends, right? They've got you covered on all of that. They also have salsas. They also have seasonings and spices. They got beer salts. They've got everything, man. Check them out. GrillYourAssOff.com/Freedom Friends Podcast, or use the code Freedom Friends Podcast at checkout.
It's not Thursday.
Could I have that?
Hold on.
Oh, shit.
All right. We got to get going. We got a package here
Yeah.
that I think you guys will be impressed. Mostly jazz, though. There's a note in here.
Oh, am I
I
reading?
want you to read
Yep.
that.
All right, I'm reading.
You read that. You read notes the best.
Before we get it going, this
All
is
right.
from Jacob Sellers.
It's Jacob.
Oh, I already like where this is going. Dear Freedom Friends, my name is Jacob Sellers. I'm a 22-year-old firefighter welder from Cornelius, North Carolina. I have been to Cornelius, North Carolina. I'm a fan of the show and the Warfighter Boys. Here's some stuff from the firehouse, and I will have to disagree with Jazz. It's a great fire trucks are the best money can buy. It is almost exclusively what we buy. Although we do have a Pierce. Anyways, love what y'all do and the cigars. Have a drink on me. Oh my God. The stainless steel collab allowed all firefighters involved to walk away with minor injuries, and the truck was refurbished and returned to frontline service. Y'all can't see this, but it is a picture of a 100%.
Oh,
Upside down.
Yeah,
fire
that is
truck.
an inverted
With
fire
no dents that I can see. And Jazz gets a hat.
They sent a Seagrave. I love
Send
it.
us a bunch of other stickers.
Oh hell yeah!
This is awesome.
fucking
Right?
A, dude.
Fuck yeah.
And
I need one
my
of those for my
my
basketball.
favorite,
Oh,
Thank you, sir.
a bottle of Whistle Pig piggyback.
Oh, this is dope.
So,
as
Mr.
shit.
Jacob Sellers, thank you so much.
This is super dope.
But
So-
right before this podcast, literally before we were on, we're talking fire trucks.
we were.
I was, yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck. We should have
Everybody, shut up. Let's
Yeah.
get recording.
Come on, open this box.
You guys need that.
So,
So I started a patch wall with all the police and fire patches that I've been
Yeah.
acquiring over the years in my office, and it's growing pretty quick. And so this is definitely going to go up there too.
Yeah, I got a couple
Yep.
on the patch wall at home.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all can just fight me, but I'm taking this fucking
no, that's yours.
this,
man.
this
Yeah, no.
fire rescue patch.
I took a coin.
Oh, did you?
A challenge coin.
I'll just fuck myself. It's cool.
Wait,
Thanks.
Oh, there's
Jacob.
a fuck ton of stickers.
It's cool.
Mikey,
I was just looking at it.
Mikey, we can share this.
Here, this
Oh,
is
thanks.
We'll do,
Oh, yeah, I'll take. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yeah,
We're good.
there you go.
Mikey, we'll do every other week on this. We'll pass it back and forth for visitation.
Oh, okay.
So you can hang it on your wall for a week. I'll put it on mine for a week.
we're gonna do every other 10 minutes on this one right now.
Right now. Yeah, this
Go
is
ahead,
gonna happen
crack
right
that
now.
motherfucker open.
In which case, can I get some ice as long as
Croutons.
I was wondering because yesterday Justin sent a text to the group chat.
That was this morning about the wine.
That was
thing.
yesterday?
That was
Oh,
last
it
night.
was. Anybody
That was the
bring a
last
bottle
night?
of wine?
No.
No.
I didn't bring shit.
I didn't bring anything.
I still want to do the wine episode.
We should, but we should plan it
because
better.
I'm the most ignorant.
But we should
I'm
plan
looking
it
forward. to
Between yesterday when he texted and today when I left my house to come to work, I forgot.
I was
I
this
didn't
close
see-
to stopping by the liquor store and buying a bottle of Mad Dog and being like, drop my wine.
I didn't see anybody else said like, yeah, I'll bring one. So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I didn't. This is dope. This is dope.
Yeah.
You know what, Jacob? Just for you, buddy. I'll wear your Seagrave hat.
So, are you familiar with the Seagrave?
Yeah. So Seagrave also makes so like the one I was talking about earlier, and the reason he brought up Pierce is the one I really like. It's called the Pierce Arrow.
Here's this.
Which is like it's what you'd see a lot as like a first responder truck. So it does have like hose on it and all that kind of stuff, and it's a big pumper truck.
Got hose. Got all three of them.
I was going to let him
How many
finish
hoes?
before I said anything.
Oh, god damn, you can't see fucking shit out of that thing.
Hold on, fuck with my eye hole.
That's shit. That shit came down low. But the Seagrave, they make a bunch of them too, but they also make a first responder truck that is very close to the Arrow. But the biggest difference in what he's talking about with the pure stainless steel cab, Pierce has an aluminum cab. And it's aluminum.
High strength aircraft aluminium.
Aluminium.
Pierce uses an aluminum cab, and the Seagrave has a pure steel. So that's why he was saying like that thing rolled, and because it's got a solid steel, solid steel cab.
I'm going to throw this
Everybody
out there
walked
though. Most firemen keep their trucks on their wheels.
Yeah, the rubber side goes down.
Yeah. So I don't know
That's, on every fire truck. Every fire truck.
Maybe your city council who voted to approve this purchase knew who you guys were and what you were all about.
I would
and
like
being
more
upset.
information about this picture.
Right?
Yeah.
I actually
because it
love
doesn't-
that. I love that it has zero context.
It doesn't look like there's any way that it should have ended up that way
I think that should just
based
be
on what else is in the picture.
That's just
Like-
the team stationary.
It just looks flat on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
the back cab is shifted, but you know what's funny is if you flipped that thing over, you could
Did you guys see?
freak somebody out. Just be like,
Did you guys see the firemen that were responding to a car fire, but they were all in drag?
that's awesome.
Look this up, Justin.
That's ridiculous.
They were on their way to or from a
Police ball?
well, they were on their way to or from like a parade where they all dressed in dresses, and they were driving by
a fundraiser or something.
driving by a car fire, and so they're literally in dresses putting out this car fire.
Hell yeah.
It's a great picture.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were heading to a police fundraiser.
and this is delicious.
This
Yeah,
is
really
wonderful. I like what it says on the back. It says, our whiskey vision knows no bounds. Piggyback 100% rye is made from 100% rye for a full send-on flavor. Because anything worth doing is worth doing at 100.
Well,
That
you
was
saw
like-
that Whistle Pig is doing a syrup,
Yeah.
and they brought in the guys from Super Troopers, the Broken Lizard guys,
Yeah.
and they did a commercial for him chugging syrup, and they were like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I know. I relaxed the throat and opened the jaw, or relaxed the jaw and opened the throat." And he's like, "No. We don't chug this. This is premium Whistle Pig." Da, 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 da.
That's funny.
And
Yeah, look at this here. So, it's a car fire. Some civilians helping. Yeah. There they are.
Fixing his bra strap.
Yes.
that's fucking
funny.
awesome, though. I mean, obviously these guys were on their way to a parade or a party.
What are their comments? What's the story?
Yeah, they were doing something funny.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's
mean, it
great.
was a parade or a party or something, and then this shit happened, and they were in their truck, so they.
Oh, they're wearing prom.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
In Minnesota. All right.
that's awesome.
He was asked if he realized he was firefighting in a dress, to which he answered,
It
it
kind
kind of dawned on me we're in the middle of fighting it.
dresses.
It's like that tunnel vision you get, like you kind of forget.
That's
They had a,
the other
they had
guy.
a float at the St. Patrick's Day parade in a nearby town.
Fire Chief Barry Bowman now has a name for his men. Quote, I call them my girls now.
Firefighters are fucking.
They may look
great,
like the
man.
RuPaul of firefighters, but they managed to put out the fire in just a couple of minutes.
Hell yeah.
This is great.
Firefighters are fantastic.
These guys would stand out there in their underwear and wouldn't care. They're that way. Fucking A.
That makes sense.
These, I mean, but that's kind of their thing, right? I mean, these are, you know, I don't want to draw too much of a parallel, but firefighters are very much like look at danger and run towards it
Yeah,
instead of away.
absolutely.
And it's
It takes a special kind of moron.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
So I and the more you talk to them and the more you're around them and stuff, the more you understand their sense of humor because of their job. So
Right.
their sense of humor tends to be at an extreme too. Because
Well, one of our real good friends, Michael, he's
It's a riot.
he's one of the funnest guys to hang out with, and he's been a firefighter, I think, his whole life.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and
Yeah,
funny,
they're pretty
funny
fantastic.
dude. So
Yep.
anyways, Jacob, this is fucking awesome, man. We really appreciate it. The stickers are. I want to know why you guys have so much swag though. This is
it's kind of cool.
ridiculous.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it, but like, they needed fire corn so bad they had it made in two
Well,
different
it's-
Borders.
Cornelius.
Fire core.
Yeah, it's Corntown.
Yeah.
Cornelius is known as Corntown, but yeah, it's a cute little town. But they have a lot of swag.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with that sticker, the big sticker there?
This one,
No, the one of the fire truck.
or the
I know
Ford
you
truck,
have. I
West
know
Side
you have
truck.
plans for that.
It's probably going on my toolbox.
Yeah.
I have a huge double stack in my garage. It'll probably either that or I'll put it on my lift.
You know what I really appreciate about this though is this kid's 22 years old, right?
Yeah.
Sends us a fine bottle of bourbon.
Great
That-
bottle.
that is-
Right.
Great bottle of rye,
Yeah,
boy.
I am so happy with this, and
It's
Like
like
he spelled
delicious.
everything right.
I don't know if he did or not.
He doesn't have
but,
punctuation.
He had a
But he
picture,
spelled
don't worry
everything
about
right.
but he had a picture on it and everything.
Yeah.
Like
This is actually my first alcoholic drink since the last time I was on the show.
Same.
definitely not mine.
But let's raise our glasses to
Yeah.
the firefighters out in Cornelius, North Carolina.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you,
Cheers,
boys.
boys.
All the fire.
All of them out there.
And as much as I
Yeah.
disagree with you on the fire truck, I'm glad that even after this accident, you all made it home. But we appreciate you.
Yeah, man. We
They're
were
good dudes. I hope to God I never have to call them, but I'm fucking glad there's people out there willing to do it. So.
we were actually John and I were in Honduras with a guy who's a firefighter out of Philly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ian.
Fuck
Ian.
And
Good dude.
that.
great, yeah, right. I was like, you are a busy motherfucker. He's like,
also a sponsored 3-gun shooter too.
He is.
I wonder, I would like to know that guy, how much is first responder call outs and how much it's actually firefighters.
So I asked
Well-
him. They had 398 like calls last year, and I was like, bro.
It's so
I was
more than one a day.
I was like, that's a lot. Yeah,
And that's his shift.
Yeah.
You gotta keep in mind,
that's
they
his
don't-
shift.
That's his shift.
yeah.
And so
like
they're
we were
probably-
talking about it at breakfast one day, and I was like, "Holy fuck, you are busy." He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "How'd you get a week away?" He's like, "Vacation, bro."
Well, they typically do like 4 on 4 off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he just took a couple days. But I mean, fuck. So if you figure 4 on 4 off, you're off half the year. So he did 398 in 6 months,
Yeah.
essentially.
So do you think that he shoots 3-gun because he likes it or because he uses it as training for his job?
Because
You know
he's
what I
the
bet
one
it is?
guy that's carrying on the fire department in Philly.
Do you know what I bet it is? He has to deal with so many stupid ass fuck first responder calls, and that's the only way he gets the feeling that he's shooting somebody. And he's just like,
To be fair, though, I was talking to him. He's one of those idiots on the greased up poles as well. I mean, because he's still a Marine. Yeah,
yeah.
big old Semper Fi tattoo across his chest and shit. It's like, yep,
Speaking of
good
Marines,
dude, good fucking dude.
I'm gonna get one of those belly tattoos, but I'm just gonna have it say like cuddles.
Yeah.
Trying to look all hard and shit, and it just says like friendship.
In Old English.
Care Bear life.
Yeah.
It's got to be in like Old English.
Yeah, the
like,
old English letters and shit, but it just says like fucking friendship.
I feel bonita.
You look bony.
That would be if we went to the river and some dude pulled his shirt off and just had bonita, just done like across it, I'd be like, "What do you want to drink?" And I'd fucking
Speaking of Marines, this past week while we were out of town, we stumbled across a Instagram post by the official U.S. Navy.
Woo! Woo!
I showed you the
Okay.
picture. Right, I turned my phone
Oh,
right
you
as
did.
the Navy deleted their post.
Yes, they did.
And it
release
had
that post.
it had the commander of whatever ship they were on.
Let's just pull this up. This is an amazing photo.
Do you have that photo? Or you want me to send it to you?
You might need to send it to me since they took it down.
Okay.
So
let me do this.
This photo is them shooting off of a ship. And
Oh my God.
the
I
U.S.
saw
Navy
this photo.
posts this. It's an M4.
Oh wait, I got it, John.
And the optic on the M4 is a Trigicon V.
I'm sending you two.
Look at that. Look at that.
Trigicon
What's wrong
VCOG.
with that picture, Mikey?
One,
He's practicing long range shooting.
Oh.
Trigicon VCOGs are pretty badass scopes. They're a 10 power.
That is a dope scope.
Yeah.
mean,
that one, however,
Not the way he's using it.
is
but-
mounted backwards with the scope cover closed. If you've ever looked through a scope backwards,
Some of that elbow too.
instead of having 10 by magnification, you have it's 10 times farther away. So
Yeah.
this fine
He's
naval officer
He's practicing long range, bro.
just wanted to try. He just wanted to make it a little harder, a little challenging.
But his handguard's not even clipped completely.
Well, we're also talking about why isn't it a full flat top? Why does it have a hard mounted front sight?
This is an M4 on a ship.
Yeah, it's just an M4.
Mine never had a hard mounted
Yeah,
front
it
sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost all of them do.
Yeah, because they'll have the removable iron sights.
But the cool thing is it's a full auto because he's in full auto.
Yeah.
It's probably 3-round, probably burst.
The new model.
Maybe.
Either way. So, Justin, did you get that second one I sent you?
What the? I
Right
saw
there.
this picture.
So
There.
here's the Go ahead.
So the first one, the caption is highlighting the amazing work of our U.S. Navy sailors from engaging in practice gun shoots, conducting ... whatever. That was up for 5 hours before they pulled it, and there was 3,336
I'm
comments.
just going to point out that these are Marines, not Navy.
Now, the Marine Corps, immediately within 24 hours of the Navy pulling it, the Marine Corps put this post up with this picture. And the caption, all the captions said,
Clear sight picture.
clear sight picture. That's it.
Yep,
There's
it.
there's no front mounted sight on that. There's no hard mounted sight.
not on that one. These are newer.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Mine didn't have one.
Well, this is probably one of your hand-me-downs then.
Yeah, God, there's just so much wrong
God,
with
that
that
was
picture.
amazing.
Look at, like you said, look at the elbow.
I love.
Like, look at
yeah.
that, and then scroll up.
Oh,
look at
dude.
the elbow.
There's
Well, look at the hand on his shoulder.
There's a guy holding him.
Guys, there's
there's
a
a lot of recoil.
There's a reason that Marines exist, man. The Navy doesn't do this shit.
Does it say
Hey.
in the article? Does it say
Hey.
who that guy is?
If the object of this was to hit the ocean, I'm sure he did just fine.
Commander Cameron Yaste,
Yaste?
he's a skipper of the guided missile destroyer USS John S.
Oh.
McCain.
Oh,
Showing a warship commander.
Oh,
sir, smoke the fuck out of whoever handed you that rifle.
no,
No,
it's not their
no.
fault. It's his fault.
It is. One,
Okay.
you should know better. But this is the same thing as what's his name that accidentally shot the actor?
Alec Baldwin.
This is an Alec Baldwin situation.
No,
So
Some
even to be
asshole-
better, what this was is some E4 armor that were like, hey, you need to go prep an M4 to make the commander look good.
Yeah.
Like, got it. And he went and mounted that
Go
shit all fucked
grab
up.
one of the Marines' optics.
if you pick up that rifle and you put it up to your shoulder and you look down that optic,
His eyes got
would you
closed.
pull the trigger?
Well,
Fuck no.
first you switch it off of safe, then you switch it off of semi, and then you fucking shoot the ocean.
but you,
Yes,
Like-
but there's so many steps there that it's like I can't see anything.
You know what the funnest part about fan fire on ship is, though? Sharks.
Yeah,
Sharks follow ships because of the trash.
right.
You can just pop sharks.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. We pop sharks.
Oh yeah, it's a crazy one.
Yeah.
Good job, Navy.
right.
Apparently, Representative Mike Collins from Georgia posted a picture of a pistol with its barrel and grip on backwards, and the caption read, Navy's newly issued sidearm.
That's funny. It's funny.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You know what, though? If a warship commander, especially like that, you said that,
I mean-
that we said that was a guided missile boat.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
destroyer.
USS Command.
If we have gotten
Okay.
down to the fact that the skipper on a destroyer
Yeah, that's-
needs to pull an M4,
Totally not his job.
Yeah.
fucking what the fuck?
That's a real bad day.
Considering that dude could push a button
Well,
And like,
and change the topography.
Yeah.
Yeah,
considering,
but clearly
like-
it's not the button of an M4.
yeah.
well, so I saw
he's gonna have drowned in the ocean before that scenario ever needs. to
100%.
Yeah.
I saw another video this week while we were gone, and it was a Marine gunnery sergeant or master sergeant, one of the two, and he was replying to a comment, and the comment was something about like it was something like, you guys are just fucking like shoot 'em up sailors or some shit, talking shit about the Marines. And it's like, and he's like, because you're part of the Navy. And the guy was like, listen, man, he goes,
hold on. I think we're onto something with shoot 'em up sailor.
That's not
actually
bad. Shoot 'em up sailor's pretty good.
that's not.
We used to call
They're
it,
referring to like 400 people in the entire U.S. Navy.
That's fair.
so like, but he was like, listen, he goes, he's like, I'm going to address this situation in this comment. And he goes, you know, we are part of the U.S. Navy. And if you really want to break it down, he's like, we have 11 carrier groups in the United States Navy. Our closest like ally or non-ally is China. They have one. Russia has one. He goes, the U.S. Navy is literally the strongest military force on the planet.
Combined.
When they pull
combined with the world's Navy.
Yeah, you can take every other Navy.
Yeah,
and they
he's
don't
like,
stack up.
He's
to
like,
us.
if you pull up a fucking fleet in front of a country, they change policy.
Well, not only that, but in the last week, they also shot down 76 fucking drones and missiles that Iran was shooting.
Mikey tells me this. 24 hours later, I show him that US
Yeah.
Navy
And then-
post.
and
And I'm
he-
like,
and he goes,
They did not shoot him down with
They
M4s.
definitely didn't.
Yeah, there
he
was-
could have with that scope.
He
like
was
that.
aiming. He was aiming far enough to. Yeah.
I still like
that's
shoot
not
'em
how
up
you
sailor.
suicide.
Shoot 'em up sailor's pretty good. I don't remember. I think shoot 'em up sailor's mine. I don't remember the exact term, but shoot 'em up,
You need to coin that.
shoot 'em up sailor's not bad.
Be like,
Pew pew.
Department of the Navy. Yep, shoot 'em up sailor.
I'm a shoot 'em up sailor.
It's not. It's not bad.
It's not terrible. Be a good shirt. Be a good t-shirt. Shoot 'em up sailor. So what have you guys been up to? Me and John have been gallivanting in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
What
we'll
do you
get to
guys-
that.
What are you guys up to?
What did I do this week? Fucking nothing really. Yeah, nothing. I did go to an event, and one of our friends, Mr. Craig Lauterbach, says hi to all of us. So
Good fucking dude.
it's telling me that there's going to be a really cool USAA commercial coming out for the draft, and he's pretty pumped about it. So we need to stay tuned. He was pretty proud of it.
I'm thinking since USA lost $1.2 billion last year, you should stop paying for NFL people.
Well, I'm not going to get into that
So like
because
hold on, which draft are we talking about?
the NFL draft.
Oh, I was
I-
talking because World War III's kicking off.
I went- I went
I
with
was
that.
like, oh, this is awesome.
That's
What did
my
I miss
brain
this
went.
past week?
We missed a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going through Twitter, I was like, holy fuck.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting week because there's all that shit that's popping off. And then there's like 4 huge financial announcements that are happening this week. And the
great.
Bitcoin halving is happening this week. So,
What's the Bitcoin happening?
so every 4 years, Bitcoin halves its, it gets cut in half. So now every time that's happened, Bitcoin has trended up further.
Right.
I don't trust it.
But because Bitcoin is the standard for blockchain trading globally, it's essentially going to when you have it, it doubles the number of blocks. So encryption gets even higher. So security goes through the roof, which means that economic trading is more secure. And that's why. But at the same time, we're also supposed to get a statement from 13 of the Fed chairs this week. They're all supposed to make their statement on what they think interest rates are going to do. Like, there's a lot of
heard
interesting.
some
All of
rumors.
that on top of the fact that we have Iran that is
World War
losing its
III
goddamn
literally
mind.
started.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, when our commander in chief.
No, it's cool. We said
just-
we're not getting involved.
Yeah.
And then we shot.
No. He said don't.
He just said don't, because
Don't.
just don't. That was his entire
It was a
fucking
very
statement.
scary don't.
Yeah.
I
Don't.
also absolutely love that this week we also had a presidential candidate that held a rally and then had to fly to Georgia to be booked into jail to go to his court hearing. I'm like, where do I live? I don't.
I'm telling you, dude. The fucking zoo.
I'm
We live in a
I'm
fucking
getting
zoo.
real close on my bingo card though. Like this shit's just it's crazy. I think that one was like the fourth block on the end.
We're getting dangerously close to idiocracy. This is.
I didn't have OJ leaving though.
I didn't
Yeah.
either.
I didn't have OJ dying.
But
My
the
favorite part
internet-
about that was Caitlyn Jenner tweeted out with the statement from Sports Illustrated or whatever. This is O.J. Simpson dies at 73 from cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
And Caitlyn Jenner put good riddance. And I'm like, bitch, you killed a dude too.
Right?
And I'm like,
And we at least know you did it. Fuck.
She hates dudes.
I'm like,
hates dudes.
so I guess by that point, she killed 2. She killed an Olympian and then just ran that other motherfucker over.
I saw somebody commented on her thing, and it was like, "You're next, Mrs. Doubtfire," and I fucking lost. I fucking lost it.
Man.
All right, look, that's a good joke. We do not condone fucking hate crime, but that's a good joke.
That's a good joke.
I think Caitlyn Jenner would even laugh at that one.
It probably did.
Because I don't know.
I know Bruce Jenner would.
Yeah.
Bruce would have thought it was really funny.
Have you watched any interviews with Caitlyn Jenner?
The one you need to watch about how good how good of a sport she actually is.
The back off challenge
is when she golfed with the boys from Country Club Adjacent.
Okay.
And she's going to tee off, and they're like, "Hey, Caitlyn, do you miss being able to piss in the shrubs when you're golfing?" Or like, and they they were leaning into her, and she just kept firing back. And I was like,
it's a great sense of humor. If we could get Caitlyn Jenner on the podcast,
fuck
it'd
yeah,
be a
dude.
great time.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, I want to drink with Bert, and I'm like, I'll drink with Caitlyn Jenner.
I don't know if it's stare at her tits or bulge.
Well,
she doesn't have the bulge. She fucking that is.
Dude, you cut your dick off. I'll call you whatever fucking pronoun you want, dude. That's how you earn your pronoun.
No, she's full transition.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Justin.
What?
It was
she
pretty,
cut her cock off?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was pretty famously happened.
Yeah, she 100% cut her cock off.
Yeah.
Oh.
It gone.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
She had that whole inversion surgery or whatever.
Okay.
Where they take it and do the nerves and.
Well, then she earned it. Yeah, she earned it.
She earned it.
They use the same tool to do both surgeries. They do. It's a plunger. One of them they just suck. The other one they turn it around and they just push.
That would hurt so fucking bad.
Either way, it would hurt, whether it's a plunger going out or in.
So when you type in has Caitlyn Jenner in the Google search bar, the first suggestion is given up. But she did undergo cosmetic surgery to complete the sex reassignment surgery in January of 2017.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
old.
All right.
Yeah, that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, but man,
She's
some
been
of the
squatting for a while.
some of the shows I've watched, it's pretty good sense of humor.
Pretty good sport about shit. Yeah.
Hey, look, if I was part of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I'd probably fucking do some batshit crazy stuff too. But,
You ain't lying, dude.
but yeah, no, she fully committed. Like she went. That's why I confidently am like she said like
Yeah.
you spent the money.
Yeah.
Like fucking go for it. Like that's
Yeah. Truth be told, I have
fucking
a teammate on at RCPT who fully transitioned.
Yeah,
Former Army Ranger Lursu
yeah.
unit individual. Yeah, fully fucking gone.
good for them.
Changed it at fucking just decided at 50 years old.
50.
Yeah. Just completely
I met
fucking
her-
nip tucked.
I met her when I was down there.
I've never cornholed a Ranger before.
And she's hey,
Hey.
she's probably hilarious as fuck.
No, she's good.
Yeah.
She's a good
And,
person too. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that I've met that have fully transitioned, you're not shaking them. Like they're so fucking
Yeah.
confident
Yeah.
in their decisions.
Well, 'cause the
that,
amount of-
you're not shaking them.
Well, the amount of counseling and like therapy and shit that they all like people who take it genuinely serious go through with that, they've come to terms.
Yeah.
And they're ready to fire back, man. They're not fucking scared of you.
Look, they made.
They're not scared of your comments. They're
they
not scared
made
of
it-
shit.
Well, I don't want
That
my
is-
comments to be scary. I'm
Yeah.
just here for a
But they've made a decision that is so far beyond what most people are going to understand that it's like that you're not going to say shit that's going to bother them. They're just going to fire right back at you.
Yeah.
It's like half of the comments are comical, and the other half they're curious.
Yeah.
Like this is funny, but
Oh,
now I just have questions.
speaking of this scenario, the Army vet that married the Siamese twins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Well, they answered.
At least I answered the
they
question.
answered the question. No, they were like, "Yes, we have sex. Yeah, she's obviously there.
yeah,
She's usually listening to a podcast or something." It's like,
Or reading.
very weird.
And I'm like,
How do you read a book and you're just like,
the only thing that ran through my mind was he's so bad at it, you can read a book.
I know,
right?
My question is,
like, do you just like reach over and fuck with her every once
It's
in a
gotta
while?
it's gotta be totally doggy so that she's not watching the whole time. That would be like
I don't know.
that'd be the way to do it.
No, he's just got a finger in there.
There's a couple new things you can do there, which is, I mean, I don't. Whatever.
I'm sure it's came up before.
But so I heard they have separate esophaguses.
Yeah, but they share parts downstairs.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But
Do they
could
both
you-
feel it?
But
They
could,
come together.
but could you really choke?
So she's just like reading a book,
Just
and all of a sudden she
mid-chapter,
is like,
just-
oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa,
shit.
okay,
Yeah.
I gotta go back a
My
page.
question is,
Good for you, sis.
could you really choke the shit out of one of them while the other one just breathed?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or do you risk?
It depends if it's an air choke or blood choke.
That's good. That's true. We're talking figure 2, figure 4.
No, okay, hold on. Logistically, you could figure 4 from the back.
Yeah.
You can figure 8. Fuck.
This looks like WrestleMania. You just got one in each
And then you
fucking.
just get your neck is like.
I think that's the Stone Cold Stunner. Is that rock bottom? No, rock bottom's a choke slam. But yeah.
But anyway, my point was that all the questions, right?
Yeah.
What do you do when the other one wants to get married?
Could one
The other one
swallow-
is married. They're both married.
Could one
They're different
swallow
dudes.
while the other one
No.
talks?
Yeah.
What?
That is not true.
I think that's true.
No
That's
way.
not true.
I think that's true.
That's not true.
No, that's a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
It is. But I believe that's the thing. Or the other one's in a
no.
serious relationship.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they both can't marry the same dude. Are they two different people?
Yes.
Like 2 different social securities and everything?
Yes. They both. Here's the fucked up thing. They're teachers, right?
They teach different classes?
They teach the same class. They pull 2 paychecks. I call bullshit on that.
No.
Yes, that's true.
Maybe a paycheck and a half.
He's like, they're both women. They can't make the same money.
No. They only have 2 feet and 2 arms. Half.
Telling you. Be funny if one was like the teacher aide. Be like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her.
Like earmuffs.
Yeah. What if one of them gets a head cold? It's just like, God damn it.
You quit sneezing near
I got
me.
shit to do, man. You're going to get me sick.
Could one swallow while the other one talk to you?
Yeah.
Nope. No. Like, oh, maybe I.
So many questions. So many questions.
Dude, I'd be worried about the back blast area if I was the other one, though. Like, fucking hubby wants to fucking pop on his old lady's face.
So if
She's
one
like,
of them-
dude, it's in my eye.
If one of them's drinking and the other one doesn't want to, when one drinks, can the other one just puke it up?
That I don't know.
So many questions.
I know.
Well, here's my question. If one of them's drunk and the other one's driving,
I don't think it works that way.
does she get a DUI?
Well, they
Been like, I wasn't driving, she's driving. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sober, but she's fucked up.
you know, like, yeah. It's a good question.
I think the blood alcohol content would be
It's
the
probably
same
shared.
in both.
I want to say they share a liver, so probably.
Can she get pregnant?
I think so.
Which one?
So whose baby is it?
Great question.
Ooh, imagine that.
They share DNA, so I don't think you'd be able to. You'd have to check the whatever baby daddy is.
Is that just super efficient voyeurism?
Yeah,
What's Jerry Springer retired too early?
dude. That is.
You mean died?
he died.
Tomato.
Did he retire before?
Look, I was out of the country last week. Okay,
I didn't know Jerry Springer died.
I didn't know he died.
You mean died?
He retired from life.
That's true. That's fucking.
I'm not up in card events. Okay,
OJ really quit football too soon.
But I mean,
he did. But his hearse, ooh, that thing was sweet. That stretched Bronco.
I've never seen an extended Bronco. That shit was.
There's funeral procession. Do you guys see that one? Where it's all the cops following him down the highway in California.
It's like, is this 1993 again? What is this?
I still love when they released the new Bronco and they fuck. I don't know how they got away with it, but that black chick pops out and goes, "When you got to get away," and then they just said Ford Bronco, and I was just like, "My God!"
Yep.
I don't know who wrote this, but fucking hats off.
Yep.
Truth in advertising sometimes.
Oh man. How about you, buddy? What you up to?
Fucking too much.
Yeah.
Need a fucking day off.
You're fucking too much. That's
Yeah,
not a bad.
that too.
Not a bad.
Trying to throw hip out.
Just throwing hip between us girls.
Just between us girls. Yeah. No, I said my store wasn't big enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
10,000 square feet is not big enough.
12,000 square
Oh,
feet.
excuse me.
So now I just leased another 3,200 square feet
Jesus.
As you should.
Where?
next door.
On the other side? Get the fuck out of here.
He's just slowly taking over the whole mall.
Signed to the lease.
Well, I thought that was Foot Locker.
Not anymore.
Can you keep the uniforms
Well, I mean,
or the track on the floor?
This one doesn't have a track on the floor. It's like that fake diamond plate stuff. But yeah, it's mine now.
No shit.
So that's another 3,200 square feet.
You should turn that.
We can do
into
it.
our lounge.
I'm going to turn it into my dedicated car shop or card shop. So none of the trading cards and stuff gets sold in my main store. It'll all be sold out of there. So we're going to lean heavier into singles and more systems and all that kind of stuff. This all stems from the fucker that was across the way from me.
Yeah.
So this guy across the way from me.
The guy
Decided he
that
wanted
sells
to-
suits. My suit guy.
No, the anime store guy.
Oh.
So guy across the way from me decided he wanted to. So we had a gentleman's agreement, right? That like, hey, I won't sell what you sell. You don't sell what I sell because we have a lot of crossover traffic.
Yeah,
so we won't be across the hall from each other and
Right.
compete. Like,
Yeah.
and everything was fine. And then all of a sudden he just stopped speaking to me. And it comes down to he was telling me he decided I was stealing his sales, saying that I sold this card game that he sold.
Weren't you there before him?
Yeah.
Tell him to fuck himself then.
Now, I never carried this card game. Matter of fact, I had players in my store that were playing the game, walking across the hallway, buying it from him, and then coming into my store and playing. And still didn't make any noise about it. Going like, they're eating up my tables and they're buying your product. Like, still didn't make any noise. Thought we had this gentleman's agreement. So I finally went over there and approached it and went, hey, why aren't we speaking? Like, what?
Yeah.
You're stealing my sales. Oh, yeah? With what? With this. I don't sell that. And this little manager went, I called over there. And some guy told me that you do. And I was like, well, I don't have any men that work for me. So I'd like to know who the fuck told you that because that would make it me.
Yeah.
So I don't sell it. Whatever. And I was like, but I did notice that you carry this and this and this and this, which are all carried in my store. So what's that about? Well, we didn't do that until after you started stealing our sales. And I'm like, okay, well, you stopped talking to me like 10 days ago. So I know how long it takes to get this product in.
Yeah.
So what it really boiled down to is they wanted to sell shit that I had. So they made me the bad guy.
So you're opening up
So-
another fucking
so
extension
now-
just to spite this guy.
So now
I
I was
going to
leave it at that,
Damn it.
right? I was going to leave it at that. But then he started running his mouth. So he started telling customers like, don't go over there. He's this, that, and the other. And he was having people come in and see if I sold shit and going back over there. And so they just come over because he's a dirtbag. So he banned me in my store, called security, banned me and my entire staff and saying I threatened his manager. Now his manager is this like 5'1" chick.
Yeah.
I threatened his manager. And obviously it was all a lie because she quit 2 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, I don't want anything to do with this.
Because this guy, she had her lie to security and lie to the
You
manager.
really should hire her.
And I should. And so he banned all. So
to run your new store.
now he sells 2 card games that I had players for, and singles and stuff like that were a major piece of his revenue as a store. So now I've leased the store that is 10 feet from his front door, and I'm dedicating the entire fucking thing to selling card games,
Attaboy.
including the ones that he sells.
What else did he sell that you could? What else did he sell that you could sell?
I love the pettiness. I love it so much.
Fucking
Jazz is coming into his Jordan era.
Yeah, I'm just like, and we were fine. I was gonna leave it alone, even after the ban and shit, till he started running his fucking mouth. And now I'm like, all right, my guy.
Little
much
common
we can
courtesy
do
goes
this?
a long way, man.
How much more would it take to mimic everything he has in his shop in there?
25. It's not a lot.
Just out of principle.
Like 25 grand, I could carry everything he's got.
Oh.
I'm not going to because honestly, most of his stuff sits in there, collects dust. It's one of those stores that people go in and look at shit and never buy anything.
Yeah.
But they were buying these card games, and that's how he's keeping the rent paid. And I'm like, oh,
I'm going to take your rent.
sure would be a shame.
Undercut him by like fucking $3 or
It's
something.
too easy because he's already surge pricing all of it. Like
Yeah.
the packs and stuff he sells is supposed to be retails $5. He sells it for $8.
Oh,
All I have to
yeah.
do is just sell it for retail. And I undercut him by like 33%.
There you go.
Oh, and I've already also registered the store that's not even open yet with all of the organized play structure for all of the distributors that he gets the games from, and mandated that I get a 500 meter blackout. Nobody can sell it within 500 meters of my store.
Fucking A.
So should have kept his mouth shut.
Hey, that's the name of the game, dude.
Yeah.
And so,
It's called capitalism, bitch.
so yeah, now we're
So you got a beef.
15,000.
It's a nerd beef.
15,300 square feet.
This is a nerd.
Attaboy.
Dude, this is a nerd beef.
I love it.
It's the fucking best.
And I'm not going to go over and get no shouting match. I'm just like, all right. We'll let the registers make the decision.
There you go.
We'll see how many cha-chings happen on one side versus the other.
I love
May
that.
the best
And
way-
eventually
best
the-
man win.
You know,
The
you should
final
do?
decision will be made by the Moz leasing company.
Yeah. Which
Get one of
doesn't
get one of those thermometer like fucking boards for monthly sales and just keep it updated. Just be like
No.
like facing the
No,
store.
we're suspending 2 TVs in the windows that have menu pricing for everything that he sells. All the
Fuck,
packs, we're just
yes.
putting them on a TV, so
Fucking
you can just see literally from his windows that hey, we sell it cheaper.
There you go.
So yeah,
On one of them, you just got to we'll beat any competitor's price and then have his store name in parentheses.
and yeah, so
Even the neighbor.
so I've been working on that, and yeah,
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I
like it.
fucking love the pettiness. That's the best.
Look,
Corporate pettiness.
All he had to do was keep his mouth shut.
Speaking of which, John and I are wearing fucking 9-line t-shirts. 9-line makes some quality shit.
Oh, let that lead into your guys' week because I guarantee you guys had a better week than we did. So
Well, I mean, location, right?
Yeah. Locations.
Yeah, I just drank a lot and fucking made business decisions.
I just drank a lot.
I didn't
We
have
drank
a
zero.
drop of alcohol
we
this whole
drank
week.
We drank nothing. This is our first one in fucking shit week and a half.
I killed a bottle of that Eagle Rare 10 in like 2 days. I was like,
Boy,
I only had like 7 cigars this past week.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
hey,
And it wasn't like one a day. There were a couple days I didn't have any.
7 yesterday.
I was to say this is my 4th one today.
I smoked 2 cigars last week.
Yeah.
One of them,
were busy.
they were both Minutemen. I smoked 2 Minutemen.
Yeah. Half of the ones I smoked were Minutemen.
Yeah.
I've been hardcore into my hookah lately, though.
Oh, that's weird.
I will say that John took one of the cigars for content reasons on a dive.
I did. I went diving with a cigar.
And the aftermath was a pleasant surprise.
It smelled
It smelled amazing.
exactly what tobacco is supposed to smell.
It smelled so
And
fucking
it was
good, dude.
so aromatic. Like it was insane.
Like flounder?
No, it was like
Like, you know when you
it
get
was
like a
so if you're at the factory,
Yeah.
right, and they have like the wrapper leaf right there,
Yeah.
and it's moist,
Yeah.
and that you pick it up and you just put it in
Yeah.
your face and you smell that sort of smell like when I got out of the ocean.
yeah,
That's crazy.
like
It was insane. I was like, oh my god!
like it was you know, like beard oil, like when you get like tobacco scented beard oil or like a candle or some shit, and it's
Yeah.
like that. It smelled like that. It was fucking phenomenal. And I was like,
Weird. It smell
bro,
like tobacco.
Introducing the Bumblebee blend. Just
Yeah.
But no, so I took a cigar and a dive. I think that dive we only got to like 25 feet.
we were doing it was a beach cleanup dive, so we were cleaning.
But it
the
was
reef. We were looking for
super
trash
rough.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was super rough. Like we
Fucking-
probably shouldn't have went where we went when we were coming back in. Like we had to go through the swim through to get out, and as soon as the first person went into that swim through, just be from the waves coming in and out and a little bit of movement, it was just a brownout.
Yeah.
Couldn't see shit in there.
yeah.
So you're just following the fins this far, and that's it. And the wave would come and it would pull you back a little bit, and then it would shoot you like 4 feet forward, and then it would pull you back and it would shoot you 4 feet forward. It was really cool. So we went out and did the whole dive, got pictures of cigars and everything. We'll be posting them soon. And then on the way back in, we ran into another group that was doing a boat dive.
Yeah.
And they went to where we were going through, and they turned around and we were heading back to the boat. And so then they stopped us, and they pointed like over there, and they're like, "Do not go! Like you can't see shit." And we're just like, "Yeah, cool story, bro. That's where we came from." And we went right back through it.
Yeah, it was. Now, admittedly, I am not as seasoned of a diver as everyone else that was on this dive. I was probably the boot of the trip on this particular.
Yeah, on this particular, this one was very.
It was me and Ian.
It was a very
probably the boot.
advanced dive.
Tell you one thing, I got humbled real fucking quick, man. That shit was when
Well,
the ground is fucking moving.
Oh,
from the
yeah.
current,
You say you
you're
got
like,
humbled, but from my point of view, you're sitting here now.
Yeah.
So it can do
Yeah.
Well, I saved his life.
Yeah.
Like in this swim through he's talking about on the way back, I'm low on air, and I got a hold of Nick from Wolffighter, who's a fan of the show and everything, and I got a hold of him, and I was like, "Hey, man." I was like, I'm fucking low. Like I told him a little hand signal. I'm like low, and he's like, how low? And he gives me the what's your oxygen? And I'm like 500, bro. And he's like, oh,
That's
shit.
like you should surface with 500.
Yeah.
yeah. Like I think I was at like 7 when I told him, and I was like,
Yeah, low and air 750.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And then he just kept stopping on the way back. He just kept stopping and looking at shit, which I'm glad he did because I saw stonefish and saw some cool shit. But I was still like,
that baby moray eel. Did you see that little guy? He was angry as fuck.
Yeah. But as we're going back through the swim through to get towards the shore during this crazy current in the brownout, my fucking fin decides to pop off. And I'm like, fuck.
The strap on his fin.
So I stop. Luckily, John's right behind me.
You know you're supposed to buckle those, right?
It was buckled.
No, it came off like there's like a post that the clip clips onto, and it's held on by pressure. And I don't know how, but it unclipped from that.
Yeah.
So there was nothing holding this fin on his foot. Just
It was the eel.
It was just on his toe.
That was the eel was getting revenge.
The eel's like, fuck that guy.
I wasn't even the one fucking with him, man.
So you didn't notice and you just started swimming in circles.
Oh no, I noticed and I stopped.
But he noticed right in the middle of the swim through. And like I said, it was so like I'm this far away from his fin, so I can see where we're all going. And I had people behind me, and there's like 2 other people behind me.
On the way out, I followed his yellow fins. That's how I got out.
Until the swim through, and then I was following his white fins, and that's the only thing we could see.
Yeah.
And so he gets almost all the way through, and then all of a sudden I see a fin this way, not like pointing away from me. Like I see the side profile of a fin. It was 2 hands reaching down, and this thing, the strap just flapping. And then I look up and I see this.
I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I'm trying to fix it.
And so I just reach up and I fucking yank the thing and
He
put it back
manhandled
on.
it, and it popped.
And I
up.
pushed
It
him.
was
Like, get the fuck out of my way.
I
We
was
have
like,
people hitting,
thanks, buddy.
running into me in the back. It was fun. It was chaos.
It was a wild fucking dive. It was the current was gnarly. It was a crazy dive. Every other dive that we had this week was phenomenal,
beautiful.
and I learned so fucking much, man. And I highly encourage, if you're shitty at dodgeball like me, everybody out there, and you're interested in diving, I highly, highly encourage you check out Warfighter Scuba. The professionalism of that team and the opportunity that they provide and the experience that they provide is fucking so above reproach. It's so fucking cool to witness and be a part of.
What he means by shitty at dodgeball is in order to be a part of the program, you have to be a Purple Heart recipient.
Yeah.
If you're not, you can still support the program through donations or spreading, the word or whatever. It's just the program is designed for guys. Like we had 2 guys that were right leg amputees.
Mm-hmm.
We had 1 guy that double amputee.
Yeah. I can officially say I've been kicked by a nub now.
Yeah, I carried more legs this past week than.
Not to be disrespectful, but I have a legitimate question.
Yeah,
How does a guy with no legs?
they have web gloves.
Web gloves. Which we got trained.
Okay.
Which we got. That was one of the things we got trained on
Cool.
this week too. It was fucking cool.
So
and,
You swim like this.
and the shoulder strength on that motherfucker's got to be through the roof, dude. Because
But no, so they're a set of gloves, but in between there's material sewn.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when you put your hand out like this, it's like one big fin.
But how do you do your forward?
Oh, you just go straight
Yeah.
through the water
Yeah.
and then come back.
like you're
That's
essentially doggy paddling.
Right.
However, shout out to our guy Steven. He's a good fucking dude.
Yeah, he is. Great sense of humor.
When he gets tired, he just walks with his nubs on the bottom.
I looked over and I caught him doing it, but he was like over exaggerating. He thought everyone was in front of him, and I was like off to his side. And so I like look over at him, and he's like over exaggerating like every step, right? And so he gets like this, and he catches me looking.
He looks like Mario.
And I'm looking at him, and he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Shit!" And then he goes back to swimming.
Yeah, he's a fucking riot, man. He's a good dude out of San Diego. He's a good fucking guy. Him and his wife are out there.
But it's funny, like so when you're underwater, hand and arm signals. That's how you communicate. You can't speak. Like you can yell and you can kind of understand, but that's not how
I can hear
do it.
John laughing sometimes.
Yeah, I laugh all the time. But so when my job was to make sure kind of like everyone was okay. If anybody needed assistance or anything like that, that's a kind of a dive master's job.
John was busy.
I was busy this week. But so I always hung around, like depending on the dives and who we were diving with, I hung around the guys that could potentially run into issues. Yeah. So like Steven, a couple of the amputees, like guys that weren't the strongest, divers or anything like that. Yeah, one of the amputees. Yeah. But Steven had a great hand and arm signal when he would start getting tired from swimming because it takes a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he would look over at me and he'd just do this. The first time he did it, I'm like, yeah, I could take a nap too, bro. We get to the surface, I'm like, yeah, I can nap right now too. He's like, no. He's like, I was tired. And I was like, oh. I'm like, my bad. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
Like we could lay down the bottom.
Yeah, right now
the bottom looks.
We got about 35 minutes left of gas, and then we got to go up. So we're gonna take a nap quick.
One of the certifications that we got this week is called Classified Dive Buddy, which is cool as shit. And you essentially learn how to dive with individuals with disabilities, right?
It's classified.
Like,
You can't talk
It is. It's very, very classified. But one of the like you put on blackout goggles to learn how to like do a blind diver and stuff like that. You learn
That
how
sounds terrifying to me.
well, I don't understand
That
why
sounds
anybody
fucking
blind would
pointless.
want to do it. I agree.
Yeah.
You know what it felt like? Because we all had to put the goggles on. It felt like those fucking floats where you're in like the
Oh,
brine
the
solution and you're like floating.
Deprivation chamber.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
But you're in the ocean.
Yeah.
So it was a trip, dude. And
I'm gonna go see a part of the world that I have no other chance to see, except for I can't fucking see.
right. Like, I mean, I would
hear it.
Let's just sneak
could
this.
feel it.
Let's just sneak this guy into our pool. It'll be
that's
way
I
easier.
was like, dude, just
But it
put me in a
smells.
fucking pool,
But they can
dude.
smell better. So they're like, no, chlorine.
I got a salt. one.
Saltwater pool. But
Let's
that,
up the salt content for
but
this
we
week.
did that like paraplegics, quadriplegics. You know, I mean, there's we got trained on how to like, you know, help assist these guys and shit like
Yeah.
that. Which is it was a cool experience.
All right, quick
Big
question.
learning. Sure.
Quadriplegic.
Yep.
Mhm.
Do you just put a tow rope up or?
Kind of.
Yeah.
You tow them by their equipment.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what you call a guy with no arms and no legs
Bob.
in the ocean,
Bob.
right? Yeah, it's Bob.
Just Bob.
Bobber.
Yeah. Bobo.
Do you know what you call him when he's on your doorstep?
Matt.
What about in a pile of leaves?
Hold on, I know this one. No, that's a hole.
Russell.
Russell. You know what you call them when they're in a hole? Phil.
These are all good. These are all wonderful.
You know what you call them if you hang them on a wall?
Huh.
Art.
That's a fucking great one.
Oh fuck.
I think one of the
We're
highlights.
the new paths to hell. That's
know,
what,
right?
That's what we're doing right now.
Speaking of which, one of the highlights of the trip was there was a little person on the beach who was dressed.
It was little T.
it was lowercase.
Lowercase T.
Lowercase ice. It was ice lowercase T.
I may have gotten a picture from one of you.
It was Mr. T's like stunt double, but
Yeah.
smaller.
Mr. Lowercase T. I also called him half a pock. I called him. I called it. What was the other one? It was
They were golden.
Warren Lowercase G.
Yeah.
There's, but of course, veterans together seeing this shit, and we just all fucking started going off, and
Did you?
hilarious.
I
It's
would
like
have.
I watched months and months ago. I watched Cocaine Bear,
Yeah.
and Ice Cube's son is in it,
Yeah.
and he came out, and I was like, "Fucking Ice Chip."
Yeah,
My buddy was like, "You can't just call him that," and I was like,
I can.
"Yeah, he's literally a chip off the block."
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
A block is just a big cube.
We
Makes
also
sense.
did a bunch of other stuff down there too. A bunch of other shirts. Like you got
I got
CPR first
a lot of
aid.
Shit. I got CPR first aid, classified dive buddy. I got my advanced open water. I got
React right.
React right. Yeah.
Stress and rescue.
Yep. I'm a rescue diver now, whatever the fuck that means.
That means you can save people, bro.
Save fools, dog. Yeah. I walked away from this trip highly educated, man. Highly educated about scuba, about procedures, about safety. Just all in all, just amazing training, man. I feel very, very confident in
Much more comfortable in the water.
much more comfortable, dude. And I could tell that by my gas intake,
Right.
right? By my air usage and
consumption.
stuff. Yeah. The only time that it sucked is I got full face. I got a full face mask certification to dive with a full face mask. But in order to do that, you have to do 2 dives. And it just so happened that the second dive I was doing was our really deep dive. You're going down to like 120 feet. Well,
Is that where you look like the people from Avatar?
kind of, yeah.
Except you can't breathe as much.
I
Because your full face, it acts off positive pressure. So you have a constant flow of air going in
which is nice because you don't get water in your mask.
and it doesn't fog up or anything like that.
Oh, I was
But
going to say, how does that work with your beard?
you have a constant flow coming out of that tank where when you're
Oh,
not,
it burns it up as
you're
only taking air when you're breathing.
breathe
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
breathing out the air out of the mask.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, not.
Yep.
So
Gotcha.
on this particular, on the first mask, I had the first dive I did, I had a soft mask that I could equalize my pressure in my ears, right?
Yeah.
So I could do a Valsalva maneuver and move on. It was fine. With the harder mask, you have to like kind of press it up against there's a block inside of it that presses up against your nostrils that does it. Well, it wasn't set to a small white guy nose. So I get down to about 20 feet and I was like, I couldn't, I'm punching myself in the fucking face trying to fucking like equalize pressure.
Can't you crack it? Just fucking do it. And then
I could have.
In theory, you could, but then you have to do it all multiple stages all the way down.
You're going to have to do it 40
The
times.
pressures keep changing.
Yeah. Like every 10 feet, the pressure change is crazy, right? The biggest pressure is between the first 10 meters, but after that, it's like, every fucking so often.
Yeah.
So finally, I get a hold of the dive instructor that I was with, our buddy Joe.
Yep.
And I tell him, I'm like, I fucking am having problems. I got to go up and to equalize. And he's like, let's go. So we go up a little bit closer. And I'm sitting there trying. I'm like, it's not fucking doing it. And he was like, fuck it. So I ended up doing my second dive completely on my secondary.
We had
regulator.
essentially equipment malfunction.
Yeah. I don't.
His equipment didn't perform how it should have, so it was technically still a dive.
Yeah.
For the cert, but he ended up having to switch to his regulator. Instead of running
So
full face.
I ran and you keep your extra mask. I had that mask on me, so I switched masks.
There's always redundant systems.
That was
in
my
scuba.
follow-on question.
Yeah. So I ended up doing this 120-foot dive with like a fucking full face mask stuck in my fucking belt, basically. While I was just like, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" Looking at me. You probably have a lot of GoPro footage of it because
That GoPro footage on that dive is absolute gold.
yeah.
It is gold
And then my dive buddy ended up running out of air, and our buddy Joe again had to like help him.
because he was running a full face as well.
Yeah, but he had the one I had before that
Yep.
admittedly leaked pretty good,
I like how this is a hobby where they were like, hey, let's make something that's less efficient.
right?
So the reason behind it is because if you run like more on the technical side of diving with it, you can run like dual tanks or side mounts or whatever, and then you can put communication systems because you can speak in that mask.
I was talking to myself,
So
I had the mask on. It
we
was kind
can
of fun.
we can talk to each other just like we're talking right
That's
now.
what I want to do. I want to go to the bottom of the ocean and then still have to talk to you.
No,
Have a
that's what like you want to do full face? I'm like, no,
There's probably some.
Go
I don't.
away.
I like this because it's
There's
quiet.
probably some instances where I would want to talk.
Well, like
You can talk. Like I can yell at you underwater. You can know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got the cert. I'll probably never use it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just the cert was offered. I was like, fuck it, I'll do the cert, right? Like because it was offered.
Like I'll have to do it because eventually I'll have to teach it. And you can't teach something if you don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like I have a comm system in my helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But unless like the group is like, hey, we're all running comms together, right? So we can talk and whatever. I'm like, I don't
don't want to talk to you.
me.
No.
I just want to hear my bike.
I ride my motorcycle so I don't hear things.
Yeah.
Like I go scuba diving because it's quiet.
Yeah. Like, and
I tell people all the time, why do I skydive?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference between skydiving and scuba is you're skydive, you're alone for
10 seconds.
your free fall's a minute, and then you're under canopy for a few, but you can hear.
Yeah.
Underwater, you got like 45 minutes to an hour, and it's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you and another guy who also is just by himself in his own world because all you're doing is worrying.
It's like
about
I like
that.
riding with other people, but like John and I have ridden together. I'm not talking to John. It's just
Yeah.
No.
yeah, that's him on his bike and that's me on my bike. And
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you when we get wherever we're going. But in between, that's me time.
I did. I did get to meet some very interesting people. I met a free diver that holds the record for the deepest free dive for the country of Argentina.
Oh, what's his name?
Ricardo.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Amazing dude.
Yeah.
I think his max depth's 103 or 104 meters,
Which is insane.
in one breath. I'm like, what's your longest breath hold? He's like, on the rope, like actual diving. And I'm like, yeah. Because a static breath hold, like in a pool, like, okay, cool, whatever. He said something like 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Like built different.
I was like, what the fuck?
Well, that's a fuck ton of training.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
And then one of the other instructors that volunteered for this week that lives on the island down there in Roatan, this guy named Rob. Rob's prior military as well. He was actually stationed at Fort Campbell. He worked aviation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a good dude too.
And now he's an
He's a
instructor.
yogi.
And this dude, like I thought Nick had a lot of dives. This dude has almost double what Nick has.
Yeah.
And so him and I hit it off. We got along really well. All he wants to do is help. Like that's it. He's like, this program's amazing.
Yeah.
I just want to be involved. Like he works full time on the island too. And he's like, no, I took this week off so I could help. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
There's a couple donors down there
Yep.
working out and helping out with us as well.
What aviation stuff did he do?
So he was with I can't remember what unit, and then he was with 160th for the remainder.
Was he with the Chinooks at all?
I didn't get into details with him on it. It was kind of in passing, and then chaos was happening like at every turn. So like we bullshitted real quick. You're like, oh, you were at Fort Campbell? He's like, yeah. I'm like, where the fuck were you? Aviation. I'm like,
I talked to him on the bus ride, but we talked about yoga and shit more than we.
And
talked
he's
about
a
surf.
free dive instructor.
Yeah.
And so I picked his brain about that because I don't know anything about free diving.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's a mental game. That's all it is.
Well,
you have to be.
I think it's more.
No, because anybody can hold their breath, but in order to do it underwater, you have to have the right mindset.
I ain't doing that shit.
And but there's also a lot of like technique things. Like
I'll do it like to bottom of a pool.
His max depth's like 40 or 41 meters because below that, your lung capacity collapses to about the size of a baseball. But in order to equalize, you need to push air through your ear canal. Essentially, I can't remember what the scientific fucking word is.
It's still part of your science.
Yeah.
But
So you have to separate a pocket of air in your mouth from what's in your lungs and keep it there and learn how to manage that to be able to equalize. And he goes, I can't do that. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is why I don't do it.
Who the fuck can, dude?
you also have to be totally cool with the fact that you cannot breathe in pure black at the depths that those guys go to. Because
they're not going to hang out. They're just hitting the bottom and coming back up.
But still, it's just like a one
I'm
thing
pretty good at
goes
picking
wrong.
up the torpedoes at the bottom of a 12-foot pool. But that's about it.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
And then you come up to the surface.
Yeah.
I just saw a watch video that came across my feed because I'm on a bunch of the watch stuff, and the guy that set the record for like the original record for free diving at like 100 and fucking 20 something meters or whatever in like the 70s.
Yeah.
The watch his actual watch that he did the dive with and came back is up for sale.
Jesus.
And it was only like 2,700 pounds, and I almost bought it.
Ooh.
I almost was like, this is a piece of history,
Right.
Yeah.
and it's gorgeous because it's a dive master, but it was like $2,700, but it's a Tudor.
Yeah.
You didn't dive with a Rolex, you drove
So
with a Tudor.
for the listeners, if you want to know more about free diving, there's a documentary out there called The Longest Breath.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
With the last breath, the longest breath.
There's
He's the
also
Same for me.
there was one that was done on free diving too.
Yeah.
When Stan Lee
Mm-hmm.
had a like reality show about like real life mutants.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was that guy that like could free scale walls because he had all that finger strength and all that kind of shit. And there was one on there. There was a whole episode about
That was a cool show.
That was a
male
cool
and a female that both were free divers, and they could hit these depths that were just. But that one chick did it with that fin.
They had that ultra
marathon
dude on that
Yeah.
show that could run like in his.
Forever.
They figured out that his metabolism actually the way it worked.
Yep.
Like changed while he ran, and so that it enabled him to be able.
Yeah.
He could run for.
And then there was that dude in India that just like.
David Goggins, go fuck yourself. This guy could smoke him. Yeah.
And then
Superhumans?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Good show.
And there was the dude that could just like scale like flat walls, like because his fingertip strength and shit was ridiculous. So
Yeah.
he would in India or whatever it was.
Yeah. He was like legit Spider-Man, dude. Like
And then there was that guy that could like roll frying pans, and
There was a dude that could just eat glass.
the guy that could eat glass. And then there was that dude that was like,
that's called pica, and it's a fucking medical problem.
yeah. There was another dude with a magnetic though, and he could like just stick metal things to his fucking body and shit.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
just stay there, and it was like, bro, what are you eating?
Yeah.
That was a cool show.
Yeah, that was a cool show.
And then, John, the documentary you're talking about was The Deepest Breath.
The deepest breath.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It would have been the last breath if it was me. Yeah.
Well, the reason
That sounds like a porn.
the deepest breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that. So last July when I went to Rotan, I watched that on the flight down there. And I got off the plane and I was like, I'm not going in the water. Nick's like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just watched this documentary and like people died. Like, this is bullshit.
You don't want to do that. It's like,
yeah. I'm like, no, I'm all set.
it's like I'm going scuba diving. I'm going to watch all these documentaries about like cave diving
I-
gone wrong.
well,
And
no,
it's like,
that's
That's what my stupid
the
ass
deepest-
did when I was learning to skydive.
You're an idiot.
I got on YouTube like a fucking moron and started watching fucking
But-
mishaps.
Hey, it's
The
probably what you
deepest
should
breath.
do.
Yeah.
That documentary, it doesn't say anything like about, the hazards of doing it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a documentary about free diving and, the guy's getting new world records and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is cool as shit. And then like,
Nope.
Yeah,
So you're peeling a little bit.
I am. I got a little bit of sun this week.
John couldn't take his shirt off for a day. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I got, so the first day I wore a tank top wetsuit.
Yeah.
And I just thought we were diving. I didn't know we were doing a shitload of surface work.
We were on
Pool
like
work.
poolside and shit and doing
And
stuff.
I put sunscreen on 3 times.
Doesn't matter when you're in
Didn't
salt
fucking-
water.
But no, it didn't matter because it was the first time my body saw sun.
Yeah,
last summer.
there's always that too. Yeah.
And it was also a little bit closer to the equator.
I'm pretty happy with myself. I didn't get fried.
No,
too
not
bad.
too
Yeah,
bad.
I got a little
bit of red,
like-
not terrible.
but I dove in long sleeves and a hood
Yeah.
every fucking time. Like I had a fucking
Yeah.
Yeah, there's my.
like I essentially had a rash guard. Like I went and bought I went on Amazon and bought like these long sleeve shirts that have like thumb holes and shit. So I was covered. Because dude, it is well documented that me and the fucking big orange ball up top, we don't fuck around together, man. Like I am not a fan of being sunburned because it happens way too easy for me.
Yeah.
I ended up going to get a rash guard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't think it worked.
Like I bought 3 and just reused them bitches. Like fortunately my shower had a clothesline in it. So
Oh,
I
nice.
just like fucking I would rinse it off every day and just hang it in my shower.
Yeah.
And so it worked out. Yeah, man. All in all,
That wasn't your first time to Roatan, was it?
it was my second.
Second,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was my second time there. It was
By the
my
way,
first
we
time
had-
staying at Infinity Bay though, at the resort hotel that they used this
Probably the
time.
nicest
Jacob,
one,
this
yeah.
Whiskey is fucking incredible.
It
Yeah,
is good.
This is
It's really
phenomenal.
good. This is
dude.
this
Yeah.
is my favorite rye.
I'm a big fan of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not usually a big rye guy. This
Yeah.
is delicious though.
It is
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I think he must have got this when we were talking about the Canadian whiskey. And
Yeah.
then we're like, oh, it was on the screen like Whistle Pig. And we're like, oh yeah, that's great.
really good.
And they're like, oh no, it's not Canadian. Yeah, of course, because it's good.
Yeah.
But it's good, and I like the Whistle Pig stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm not a huge just like drink rye kind of person.
This-
I love
Especially
rye. I love
100 proof rye.
yeah.
I love rye old fashions.
Rye old fashions are awesome,
Yeah.
and that's
Like a good
like
like Templeton rye.
I keep rye in my house to
Yeah.
make old fashions.
Yeah.
But
Same.
fuck, this is extremely sippable.
What do you guys
Fucking
pairing it
Mike
with?
needs like a pill over here. This is fun.
we need gas station boner pills for Jazz's Mike.
It's so sad.
I could have got them real cheap at the pharmacy in Roatan. You should have let me know.
Dude, we went in there to buy rubber gloves.
Did you
John
guys
and I did for
fucking hit the
beach
duty
cleanup.
free?
Oh,
No fucking triple, man.
wait one. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
First question I asked him when I saw
I-
It was
I
the
saw some
first
of-
story I told
I saw
Scott.
some of the pricing
I
that is
about-
now going on in
I about
duty free.
I about burned down DFW over this.
Yeah,
I was
we
pissed.
had some work. Yeah,
The pricing. There's some videos that are now surfacing in the bourbon community of like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, you can't find this whiskey on shelves in the liquor store, but you can find it in the duty free, and it's like quadruple the price that it's
Yeah.
supposed to be in there.
They need to quit listening to our fucking podcast then.
fuckers.
Jesus.
I haven't heard anybody else talk about triple. Nobody. It's just us.
Yeah.
yeah.
If it wasn't for us,
What
I
a
wouldn't know about
fucking
it.
what a glorious find.
Yeah.
So,
I found a bottle.
So-
talk about the rubber gloves.
So we go to buy rubber gloves because they're doing this beach cleanup, and there's like 45 volunteers, all shapes and sizes, right? So we go to buy a couple boxes of rubber gloves.
Yeah.
As we're sitting there, we walk up, and I look down into the display case of the pharmacia, and there's Sus 250, there's Deca, there's all these fucking steroids and shit. I was like,
And boner pills.
and right next to boner pills.
All
I
of
was
the
like-
top shelf
I was
right
like,
there.
I'm pretty sure you gotta mix them
John. Like, look at this stuff. And, $27 for Sus 250. I asked. I was
Nice.
curious what the going rate was.
So we get to DFW.
Yeah.
We clear customs, which was a fucking breeze with Global Entry.
Yeah.
Fucking can confirm.
Like literally
dude.
scanned my face, didn't even have to stop walking, kept going, and then the customs guy's like, "You're good."
He's like-
and I just I didn't even have to pull my passport out of the bag. Walked right through.
You have
I'm
the
like,
global
"Fuck
citizen.
yeah.
You have the global citizen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. I
So,
just got it.
We get our
Fucking
bags,
phenomenal.
check our bags back in, go back through security, and then we were meeting other people that were going through because they didn't have pre-check. So we went through pre-check. They were waiting in line with everybody else. It's like, fuck it, let's hit duty free real quick because it's right across from
Yeah.
security. So we go to duty free, As soon as we get to duty free, the first like end of like a cabinet display has a big Jameson poster, a bottle of triple, bottle of regular JMO, bottle of stout. And I was like, fuck yes. Mike, he's like triple. We're like, awesome. We walk through every single part of the duty free looking. We don't even see regular JMO.
And half of it's shut down, I might add.
Yep.
All right. Because for some reason, DFW's fucking
I hate
duty free.
DFW.
It's horrible.
The fucking worst duty free there is,
Right.
man.
So
Like,
we
No, not
find-
just the duty free. I hate that
Just in
entire
general.
fucking airport.
there is one redeeming quality, and that is the lounge.
Oh, the Amex Lounge.
The Amex Lounge at DFW
Makes
You know how
everything
big?
has some of the best fucking food I've ever eaten.
You
at
ever
an
seen
airport.
this? You ever seen the stat on DFW Airport?
Oh, it's nuts.
So DFW Airport is actually larger than Manhattan.
Yeah. It's massive.
What?
It's so
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
huge.
It's
dude.
huge.
It's huge, dude. Yeah.
I fucking hate anything and everything I can do to avoid doing anything
Yeah.
with DFW.
I'd rather go to Love.
I will
Like,
literally drive to
don't know
fly
if I
out of
am, so-
Houston to get to South America before I will fly through fucking DFW.
Normally I run out of Houston,
So much better.
except I didn't book these flights, so
Yeah.
we got booked out of DFW.
Yeah.
Which I mean, we had like 10 guys on that flight. Like, I
Yeah.
get it.
There was a
Understand.
bunch.
But yeah, so we go through fucking duty free, and all we find are 3 bottles of Jameson Stout.
Gross.
And so
Right?
immediately,
Like the worst one.
Immediately, I look at Mikey and I'm like, I need to speak to a manager.
Yeah.
Do you go full Karen?
Put
on
on
DFW?
fucking Karen.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. You have the triple on display on a poster right at the entrance.
We turned a little Karen.
So we're like, hey man, you guys carry JMO? He's like, oh yeah, it's over here. And I'm like, Mikey's like, yeah, we're just looking for triple. And he's like, oh, we don't have that. And then he just, as he's walking away,
And we're like,
so we're like, come on, whoa, we're not done yet. We have more questions. So he's leading us to where the stout is, and like, yeah, we know you guys have stout. He's like, yeah, we got stout. It's right here. And we're like, yeah, that's not. We want
Who
triple.
the fuck is going to duty free to get Jameson Stout?
right? That was my
Serious.
question. I
Nobody.
was like, dude,
That's why they have.
That's why
I
it's
was
still
like,
there.
I buy this on the fucking shelf at home. Why the fuck is this
Yeah.
even here? I was like,
Guys, so Mikey's like, no, he's like, we're looking for triple. The guy's like, oh yeah, we don't have it. And Mikey's like, but it's on the poster, like your
I'm like-
display, you're advertising that you have this.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, no, we don't. And I'm like, you don't have it, like you don't carry it, or you don't have it, like you're out of
the
stock.
guy wasn't very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, in all fairness, this dude got an airport job.
It's true.
True.
It's
This is the second time I've had beef with DFW's. Remember last time when I
Fucking hate
went
DFW.
Karen on them last time because they locked it up like 20 minutes before they were supposed
Yeah.
to close.
Yeah.
And,
And
I
you
bitched
brought
about
that
it
up.
on the show. Yeah, I was fucking mad, dude.
every time I go through DFW, it ruins everything.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
so
went
no
to Boston.
fucking triple.
We went through DFW, and it was a fucking nightmare.
Go to the Amex Lounge. The food there. Motherfucker.
It's the same. It's honestly the food's pretty much the same at every Amex.
Yeah, I'll say every Amex Lounge.
well, they have executive chefs there and shit.
This
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
They,
pretty
they
solid.
did a good job.
Pretty solid.
But
That fucking cinnamon rice.
the arroz con leche,
Fucking A, dog.
fucking delicious.
Like, it was, I was happy.
So I had a new tattoo in Rotan.
Thank you again for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
Because I don't have a fucking Amex. But
What'd you get? in those?
I got a new tattoo in Rotan. I got a beach scene with some palm trees and then an execution happening.
Nice.
But so I got to shout out to
Very Nicaragua of you.
Foxy's Tattoo Shop, Honduras.
It's the same.
they're neighbors.
They touch. Shout out to Foxy's Tattoo in Rotan. Foxy's an amazing human being. She's from
Is that the actual tattoo you got?
yeah.
Nice.
She's from the UK. Covered in tattoos. Does really good work. We literally took a break and like it wasn't a big tattoo. Didn't take long. We took a break so she could smoke a joint. And I had a little bit of a cigar, and you gotta get that creativity flowing. You know,
That's what I want.
But,
Stoner gives
she
me fucking
literally-
permanent ink.
she works.
First off, I've seen some of your ink.
She works, and
You'd
she's
be all right.
obsessed with UFC, and that's it. Like that's her fucking thing is UFC. And
Does she do UFC?
no,
Like,
no.
no.
I'm not gonna
She
lie.
would. I think she would do UFC if she had the chance.
I usually don't give a fuck about UFC, but that cat that just walked out and literally pointed at the dude and then pointed at the middle of the map and middle of the mat and was like, "We're fucking going."
Max Holloway,
Yeah.
And
Justin
walked out
Gaethje.
there and just like, "We're trading right fucking now,"
No.
and then just annihilated that dude and
No.
just put him face down. I was like,
I have reservations about this because Justin Gaethje, the one that got knocked out,
Yeah.
Is a big
is a buddy
supporter,
of
friend.
mine. But
you volunteered for the possibility of getting your ass fucking handed to you. And you got your ass handed to
but that was the last 2 seconds of a
he did it in
5-round
1
fight.
second before it was supposed to be done.
And it was an amazing fight. And it was
But
was
half
so
of that is
amazing.
half of
And
that is strategy. Like that motherfucker
he-
saw the
Max
timer.
Holloway fucking bangs, man.
Yeah, he does.
That dude can bang, dude. Like, and
So-
don't get me
Justin
wrong.
Banks too.
And Justin is one of the most violent people on the fucking
Yeah.
planet.
But that
pound for
motherfucker
pound,
pointed
right?
at the
Like,
floor and said, "Right here, we're fucking trading." And
And this is after
Well,
he
it was the last 10 seconds of a 5-round fight.
he finished it with 1 second left on the
But
clock.
what I
before it was
love
gonna go to
about that
decision.
is Max already knew he won the fight.
Yeah.
He could have just danced and fucked off and won the fight at a
But
decision.
I am so
and he
happy.
chose to stand toe to toe with one of the most violent dudes in the sport
Yeah.
Well, this was
and put on a fucking show.
this was their second fight.
Well, this was their second fight, and this was the BMF title, so it was the bad motherfucker title.
But I'm not gonna lie,
And
this
I
is why
respected
I
it so
don't
much.
fucking watch UFC. And this is why I make the joke about it's fucking. If you put the soundtrack over it, it's gay porn. Because watching 3 rounds or 5 rounds of dudes fucking cuddle on the floor, I don't.
Oh no, these guys
care.
weren't cuddling.
These-
This is all strike.
But
These dudes
these-
weren't cuddling.
But this is why I like boxing.
Well,
It's not that I'm anti-fight sport. It's just,
right.
Well, they say that Max Holloway is pound for pound the best boxer in the UFC.
and he fucking
Like,
obliterated him.
They didn't.
Like,
they
it
didn't
was-
go on the ground that much.
No.
Yeah,
They did.
we got off the plane and Omar had it on his phone, and we were like standing
I'm
in the
looking at
airport
the
at baggage
stats.
claim.
Like
Yeah.
all I could get
Oh,
was the
shit.
stats
I
on
watched
ESPN, and I'm like, oh fuck,
They had-
Justin's getting his ass whooped.
They had 0 seconds on the ground. There was
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
It was an
It
all
was
strike
nuts.
fight.
Yep.
And that's why
for 5 rounds.
For
That's pretty
5
amazing.
rounds.
That's a lot.
Oh, they were fucking gassed,
and
bro.
that's
They were
why
both.
every
fucking
time we've
gassed.
talked about UFC on this show, I typically just check out because I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
That fight though was a legitimate fight. The rest of the whole like let's roll around and fucking cuddle and
if
fuck,
you
I don't
if you
care.
want to if you want
Like,
to watch an interesting the post fight interview with Dana White, he was like, "Fuck the rest of the fights," and there was 2 fucking title fights outside of that. What he
It was a
said,
good
"Fuck
fight.
the rest of the fights. Let's talk about this one the whole time." He's like, "This is fight of the year." He goes, if anybody fucking beats it, holy fuck, I'm gonna have a murder on my hands.
but it was really good, and I think Dana gets it. And you know, no, look, I was a fan of UFC back in the day.
yeah, when it was legit,
Where it was like-
bare knuckle.
They push 2 dudes in a ring, they close the door, and then they go
No
like,
rules.
"We're going until one of you can't." It's like, and
Did you see the Instagram? Do you guys follow BJ Baldwin at all?
Yeah.
So his-
only for his
yeah.
truck.
His
hit.
his Instagram where he's in the UFC gym and doing the punching thing, and then he's like, Chuck Liddell was there, and he's like, "Well, how do I stack up to you?" Justin, pull that up if you can.
If you don't know
It's
who BJ
fucking
Baldwin
funny.
is, BJ Baldwin is a Baja style truck
Yeah.
racer. He races.
Yeah,
Uh,
but he's into a lot of things.
he's into a lot of things, but he makes his living racing.
Yeah.
I think he makes his living on YouTube.
No, he
like-
makes his living.
He is a
He-
professional racer.
He makes his
No,
living.
he really is.
His father owns a casino in Vegas,
That too.
so that helps a little.
and which is
That'll help.
that's how we got his first trucks. Now he's Monster sponsored and like he
Yeah.
can fucking race. Like
Yeah.
the guy has wins under his
Well,
belt. This isn't
he's
just daddy's.
Black Rifle sponsored now, I think.
Well,
But he's got some, like, I remember he did a video in Cuba with one of the trophy trucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
And I watched, I was just like, I want one of these trucks so
Oh.
bad.
so well, Black Rifle really a lot of those drivers that were like Hoonigan affiliated
Yeah.
and Monster affiliated. When we lost Ken Block,
yeah.
Black Rifle had gotten
Yeah.
involved, but Hoonigan still needed to happen, and then Black Rifle got involved, and that's why Pastrana did the
Yeah.
most recent Hoonigan and stuff.
Yeah.
There was an opportunity, and so now you're saying he's Black Rifle sponsored. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Monster has more money than they do, so
Yeah.
like he's
clearly.
still a monster driver.
Monster.
But
He just added another patch.
yeah,
I did not see Black Rifle in coffee shops in Honduras, but I did see Monster.
yeah, Monster has the cash. But he was Hoonigan affiliated.
Yeah.
And so when Ken Block died, It does go to show just how influential Ken Block was, considering it's now taken like 5 professional drivers to be able to step in and get the same shit that Ken Block could do on his own. He's just that kind of ungodly good because he raced everything.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't anything Ken Block touched that he wasn't just the best at.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's where BJ Baldwin is. He's a trophy truck racer. If you're not familiar with him, he now just has enough money to be into a lot of shit.
So look at the number, right? He hits his power. So 6,800,
68,000.
whatever.
Fucking Chuck.
Watch this.
Almost doubled it.
That's why when he was molesting my ear, I wasn't gonna do shit.
Yeah.
When I got molested by that man,
Those were
I wasn't saying shit.
very different punches, though. Look,
Oh, that's a left hook, and the other one was a right hook.
He's a lefty.
well, he also doesn't pivot his hips. Chuck puts his whole body.
You got to flare the heel, dog.
But now here's the deal. Have Chuck
One of them's a trained fighter. One of them's a trained racer.
And I was like, now put Chuck Liddell in a fucking trophy truck and see how long he can even keep the rubber.
No, I
down.
get it. I'm just
Look.
like, holy fuck. This is a big number.
68,000.
Well, there's also
112,000. Yeah.
Joe Rogan is also a podcaster that holds the record for a fucking shin strike
Oh
on that
my
machine
God,
too.
that
So, and he did it in jeans. So they're like,
That motherfucking get kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, I just got done listening to their Save Our Parks podcast.
Those are always my favorite.
They got so fucked up.
They
are fucking annihilated.
Mark Norman is my fucking hero.
And they're like talking over each other so bad it made me feel good about our podcast. I'm like, oh, okay.
Comedy.
So I got to ask it because I've been asking it sporadically for the past year or so.
It's your time to shine.
When's World War III kicking off, bro?
Right now, dude. Right now, bro.
Getting ready, right?
Yeah, the shit's on.
You guys.
But if that was Iran's, like,
Oh, it's going to be over before it starts.
yeah, they sent a lot of missiles, like 300 and I think like 3
I know Jordan started talking shit today.
So,
Jordan was like, "Hey, we're going to shoot down drones," and it's like, "Okay, Jordan."
I'm gonna go conspiracy theory real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I think this is a larger play, and I think by taking out the people that Israel took out in Iran,
Yeah.
it was bait.
That was Syria, but they took out Iranians in Syria.
That's what I meant. It was bait, and Iran took the bait, right? So they took out whatever 7 head people or whatever it was. Iran retaliated with 500 drones and missiles and rockets. So now that opens it up for Israel to retaliate offensively.
But
Now let's back up a little bit to nuclear agreements and that Iran wasn't supposed to be making anything. So now if Israel retaliates, what is something that you would take out that would cripple a country?
EMP.
No, their capabilities to produce nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Right now, because it's pretty easy to find where these are.
But 24 hours before this Iranian attack, they announced it.
Israel did?
No, Iran did.
Yeah.
And I think it was a softball. I think when we killed Soleimani, they responded.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a softball.
Right.
And I think this was too.
It is. But now, but I'm saying in my opinion, this was planned on the Israeli side that Iran was going to retaliate. And it opens the door for Israel to take out all the nuclear sites in Iran.
Maybe.
But it solves more problems than just, we have something going on back and forth. Now on a global level, they just removed uranium enrichment. They moved the potential of nuclear weapons. You know what I mean? Like there's all this stuff on a much larger scale that now it all depends on what Israel does.
Here's what I know. I know that the CEOs of Northrop Grumman and fucking Halliburton and all those are fucking dancing right now because they're like,
oh yeah,
we're back, baby. Woo, it's coming. Yeah.
super glad I bought that Boeing stock on the downswing.
Fucking A, right? like, it's coming. So, yeah. You want to know if there's going to be a war? Start watching Nancy Pelosi's fucking
Stock buys.
Stock buys. Yeah. You'll know real quick, or Paul Pelosi's rather. You know. Yeah. Well, anyways, boys, this is it's been a fun episode.
Has been.
Yeah. I see Jazz is starting up his second cigar.
I'm down on the nub on my.
I'm on the nub on mine too. So I'm gonna raise my glass, boys. I'm gonna say thanks for being my freedom friend. Cheers. And to all you out there, like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons. Tell your mom.
Tell your friends.
Tell your fucking mom's friends. Them bitches need to know. There's this fun little show. It's called the Freedom Friends Podcast. 4 fucking assholes that talk shit.
And I'm just looking to make a new stain on your mattress.
Hey. You won't even know I'm there except for the glow of my cigarette in the corner. Anyways.
Sounds very cuckish of you.
Well, that's my Twitter handle.
I didn't say it was my fucking mattress.
It's Cuck Daddy 68 because I owe you one.
Anyways, like, share, subscribe, all those things. 3 little things. Pretty easy to do. Not hard at all. Jazz, hit him with the first one.
Fucking smoke on.
Your favorite.
Drink on.
God damn it, kids. Freedom to fuck on. Later.